Off the back of another disappointing season, we all expect Arsenal to have a big transfer window. There's a lot of pressure on this club. They have to get over the line. Mikel Arteta's job should be under threat because it's unacceptable that he spent this much money and has gone this long without having anything to show for it aside from a FA Cup that was won with Unai Emery's squad. These guys have finished second in the Premier League for the third year in a row. What did that Liverpool banner say? Always the bridesmaid, but never the bride. That's how you can describe Arteta and Arsenal during his tenure. And they need to address certain positions to help them start winning these major trophies. Now, they already signed Zubimendi in that midfield. He's more than likely going to be the Thomas Partey replacement. But they need to address that attack because besides Saka, there's nobody that's in the final third that they can rely on. Their left wing is dead. Trossard and Martinelli are mid. The strikers that they have aren't even actual strikers. Kai Havertz, can somebody tell me what's his best position? Gabriel Jesus, the guy can never stay fit, and he's better on the wing. They need a bagsman up front. And there's been two names that have been thrown around when it comes to Arsenal and the striker department. We're talking about Benjamin Sesko, and the other guy is Victor Gyökeres. Now, I think Victor would be the signing that makes the most sense considering his release clause. But it seems like Arteta wants to bring in Sesko, and I gotta question why. But I want to know what you think about Arsenal and what striker do you think they need to sign? Because a tier 1 journalist has confirmed that Arsenal are in negotiations to sign Sesko from RB Leipzig. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. Let's get it. Before we get started, I just want to say, Florian Plettenberg has been moving mad over these last few months. This guy is getting all the exclusive information, and he's the reporter that I'm going to look at the most during this transfer window. I've realized Fabrizio Romano is a tap-in merchant. This guy just comes in and repeats what other journalists say. But he has the here we go PR. All good. But anyways, Florian Plettenberg put out this story saying that Arsenal are now in concrete talks with RB Leipzig regarding Benjamin Sesko. Andrea Berta is in contact with, I'm assuming that's RB Leipzig sporting director, and it says while Arsenal are also monitoring other strikers such as Victor Gyökeres, their pursuit of Sesko is serious. Mikel Arteta is a big admirer of the 21-year-old forward from RB Leipzig. His release clause for the summer stands at 80 million euros. Deal on. Now, we got to break this down because I remember I saw a report maybe a week or so ago that said Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta are clashing. Berta wants Gyökeres. Arteta wants Sesko. Now, there's a weird power dynamic going on at Arsenal because Arteta has a lot more say-so than what a manager should, right? If you're the sporting director, it should be your job to identify players and bring them to the club. Now, obviously, the manager should have a say, right? Because the manager is going to have to be able to fit such player into their system. But it should never be where the manager has more power with transfers than the sporting director. Because if that's the case, then why the hell did you hire somebody? You might as well just have made Arteta the manager and the sporting director. But it looks like Arteta is getting his wish. And I have to question this guy's talent ID. Sesko looks like a decent striker, okay? The guy is tall as shit, he's fast as hell, and his shot power is at 99, okay? This guy's got a rocket for a leg. But he's a very raw player, right? He's not the finished article. And you're going to be signing a guy that hasn't even dominated in the Bundesliga. The guy's only scored, 13 goals this season? The Bundesliga is so wide open. This is the same league that made Werner look like a baller. And when I'm looking at Liverpool, right, they're going to sign Florian Wirtz. Man City are going to go crazy in the transfer market. Arsenal need to make a statement signing. And I don't think overpaying for Benjamin Sesko is that statement. They're talking about 80 million euros for a faster Kai Havertz. Are you mad? Victor Gyökeres, his release clause is about 60-something million. This is a no-brainer. Gyökeres is more proven. Look at the goals that he's been putting up at Sporting over the last 2 seasons. Look at his record in the Champions League. Look at what he's done for Sweden. Now, I don't think Sesko is as bad as what people are making him out to be. But for 80 million, you got to be a lot better than what he has been. And I'm starting to have a sneaky suspicion that Arteta doesn't want to sign proven players. Hear me out. Arteta knows that if he signs Gyökeres, the expectations are for him to win the Prem or the Champions League. But if he signs Sesko, he knows that people are going to give him that excuse of, oh, it's still a young squad, and oh, it's Sesko's first season, and oh, he has to adopt and all these different things. Brother, you got to go get a proven player now. If Andrea Berta wants Gyökeres, then that is the striker that Arsenal need to get. I think Sesko has a lot of potential, but Arsenal don't need potential right now. They need a ready-made player. Look at how Liverpool won the Prem last season. Everybody said that when Man City falls off, Arsenal will be that next team. And Liverpool came in, Arne Slot in his first season, and they ran away with the Prem. I just don't understand this. For 80 million, it's a bad deal because he's not going to help Arsenal win right now. Arsenal should be past the point of signing players based off their potential, right? Arsenal need to go get a proven goal scorer now. And when I look at the play styles, Sesko, how is he going to thrive in this Arsenal system? Sesko is a player that likes to operate in space, right? He thrives in transition. The Bundesliga, if you watch them in that league, it's like a basketball match. It's like back and forth. Teams are playing high line, etc. When he goes to Arsenal, that's not going to be a possibility, right? In terms of transitional, because a lot of teams that Arsenal go against, they're playing a low block. I don't think Sesko has the tech. Now, he's tall, so maybe with all the crosses that Arsenal put into the box, you would think Sesko would get onto the end of those. But again, 80 million for that is crazy. Sesko would make more sense for like a Chelsea, right? Chelsea are a team that are kind of rebuilding. Nobody has those high expectations for them. So that would make more sense. Arsenal need to go get Victor Gyökeres. He is the guy that makes the most sense. I just don't understand how you can justify spending 80 million euros on Sesko, an unproven player that hasn't even lit up the Bundesliga. And why does this guy cost so much? Now, I have seen some of his goals. Again, his shot power is crazy. He's a very fast player. He's good aerially, but he doesn't have the tech, in my opinion, to thrive in an Arsenal system that needs to break down low blocks. So essentially, you're just buying this guy to whip crosses in. I don't know. It's super weird, but it's interesting because when you look at the situation that we have in terms of the power struggle between Berta and Arteta, I don't really see this ending well. I think that he needs to be sacked. To be honest, Arteta should have gotten sacked after they bottled the league when they were up with only a few games left a few seasons ago. I think Arsenal are acting hella spooky, bro. Like, they're not moving like what you expect a big club to operate like. You have a free run at Gyökeres. Man United were looking at him, but they're no longer going to have Champions League football. So you would think if Arsenal wanted Gyökeres, then he would go there. He costs less, and he's more proven. I just don't understand the squad building here by Arteta. It's like you want to just keep bringing in young players and people with potential, but that are not actually proven, just to give yourself an excuse for if you fail. Because that's just what it is, in my opinion. Now, in terms of the pace and power, he has that, right? The Premier League, you need that to thrive. But the way that Arsenal play, I don't think it'll be that beneficial to spend that much money on him. I see Sesko as a guy that bags 10 to 13 goals in the Premier League. If he's healthy. Arsenal needs somebody that's going to be in the golden boot race. I don't think it's this guy. But get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Sesko potentially going to Arsenal. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications.